Hello everyone and welcome back to part 7 of the English Bull Terrier coloured pencil tutorial. I hope you're all doing really well, and if you're just joining me now, make sure to check the description for the link to part 1 so that you can start from the beginning. But otherwise, if you're carrying on with me, then grab your pencils and let's get started. Now, I made a mistake and I put the dishwasher on and I regret my decision, but if you hear any noise in the background, then that'll be what that is. But I'm just going to get stuck in anyway, and the first thing that I'm going to do is start on this area here, and I'm going to use Cold Grey 1 230, and I'm also just going to tidy up the outlines a little bit. And I'm going to take that down that area where it's got that sort of cool tone. Bring it down here. I kind of want to like blend it out a bit as it gets into that white fur, just to make it a bit softer. And it comes down here. There is a bit of orangey fur there, so I'm not going to go into that bit too much. Just going to bring it down this bit. And just a little bit more down there, just to blend it out a bit. Then I'm just going to rub some of these lines out, and I'm going to add the ivory into the orangey area just so that I can get a nice warm base for that. So ivory 103, just going to blend that into that orangey area, and a little bit into that cold grey. It all blends together. And then just little bits here. Don't want to add too much because it's only like little bits of orange fur that I can see. But yeah, Paddy's not here today. He's gone on a little walk out with Scott, so it's very quiet in here today. That's a change. Minus the dishwasher, obviously. Let's blend that in. Right, that'll do for now. I've got enough to work with, and I'm going to go in with that cool toned Pablo colour, the dark grey, and start to just build up some fur texture. Just get a bit of tracing paper to put my hand on. Don't want to smudge that ear that we worked on. And just lots of teeny tiny little strokes. Yeah, I hope you're all doing really well. I couldn't believe what I did with the last video. I spent ages editing it and like exporting it, uploading it. And I didn't have a lot of room left on my laptop, so once I started uploading it, once I posted it rather, I deleted the edited video from like my iMovie and everything. And then it became evident that there was only 9 minutes of actual footage, so that was great. I really annoyed at myself about that because I deleted it and I had to do the whole thing again. So yeah, next time I'll make sure it's right before I go deleting stuff. But yeah, we got it up eventually, so that's all that matters. I'm just going to start doing some little bits here too. Lots of little strokes just to build this bit up. I'm loving seeing all of your drawings of Paddy that you're doing, honestly. If you ever want to send me what you're doing, you can either send it me on Instagram or Facebook on my business page, or email me. I'll leave all the details in the description. But yeah, I love seeing your progress on the drawings that you're doing from my tutorials. I love that. That makes me really happy. And like when you tell me that you've not drawn for a long time, or you struggled with drawing and now you've managed to get into it because of the tutorials, that really makes my day. So yeah, thank you for always sending me those. Just going to bring this down here. And I'm going to add a bit more here. Like always, I just keep moving around just to keep myself, like, my brain occupied. I'm looking for the fair direction too. It sort of comes a bit more across here. I'm going to blend some little bits into that yellow. I want it to all look seamless, like all the colours sort of gradually blend together, so just start by overlapping some hairs. Bull Terriers have such an interesting face shape. Like, this isn't like any dog that I've ever drawn before. Usually they like go in here, but their faces sort of come out instead in that like domed egg-shaped appearance. So it's really interesting to draw him, especially because it's my own dog. Always makes a difference when it's your own pet, but yeah, it's an interesting shape to draw. I suppose like most dogs have a very similar facial structure. Like they might have, some have curly hair, some have smaller eyes, some have bigger eyes, but I think they're definitely one of the most unique looking dogs. I think a Shar-Pei would be interesting to draw as well, because again I think they're a very unique looking dog. You don't see a lot of them about, actually. I'd love to know what kind of dogs you'd like to draw. I've still got a black Labrador tutorial that I'm hoping to do next, because I've got a really good reference. And after that I don't know what I'll be doing, so any suggestions are always taken. I have like a little notes section on my phone where I list everything that people have asked for. Obviously I'll never be able to do everything, but if something gets like regular requests, then I think, right, I should probably do that. Yeah, here I'm just sort of like making sure the direction's right, because it sort of comes from this side, and also from this side it sort of like fans out. And then the hairs get a little bit more sparse here because you start mixing with the white hairs. I'm just going to do a few to begin with. I'm going to work on blending these bits out afterwards though. I'm going to do like the main dark bit here first. And just keep layering it up. I think I need to add a bit more of that purpley colour in there too. I'll just blend a bit more of this. A little bit more that way. It's hard to see the exact direction on this area, but I think it sort of like comes up a bit like this and then blends into that curved bit there. Add a little bit more here. Just really take your time making sure you get the fur direction right, because like I said, they are very uniquely shaped. Right, now I'm going to go in with some of that cocoa from the Pablos and start adding that in here a little bit more. Definitely has a little bit more of like a purpley, warm brown tone around here. Blend a bit more of that through. Bring it down here a bit. Keep on working it round here to make sure I got the direction right. It's all blended in. I'll add a tiny bit more just around here. I think I probably will need to go back in and like darken up a lot of areas on this too later, but I'll do that another time. I'm going to add a bit more here. And I might just add a tiny bit next to the white area here. I can see like a little bit of a purpley tone. Obviously when I say purpley tone, not like bright purple, just a hint of it. Add a little bit here. And a little bit more here, I think. There we go. I just had a tiny bit here. Just see these little hints of this colour. Okay, Next, I'm going to add a bit of orange into this bit and then we can start blending the whole thing together. So burnt ochre 187. Just going to start adding little bits of this through this ivory. Some here. I'll just do a light layer of it for now. I can always go in and intensify it a little bit more later on. Make it a bit more sparse there because it does go a little bit more white, the fur. Just add a bit more here. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with the Payne's Grey 181 and start to darken up that cool toned fur. So I'm just going to start around here where it's really dark just to get the shape of it. Blending it into the orange fur. Layering it up. Add a little bit more here. Sort of again doing a mixture between like upwards and downward strokes just to make sure it's really nicely blended. And I'm going to start from here. I don't feel like I've got a lot to talk about today. I feel like sometimes I'm really chatty and sometimes I just get on with it. It's been really nice weather this week. I love this time of year. I feel like I go on about it all the time, but I love like sunny weather. We've been having barbecues like every weekend. It's been really nice. today it's a lot more cloudy. I'm hoping it'll get nice again because we've got another barbecue this weekend and we've got like some family around, so just going to build it up here. Starting to form a little bit more shape now. Start coming down here. A bit more here. Right, I might use a little bit of dark sepia now. So 175, and I feel like I just need a bit more around this area. Sort of like blending it into that bit where it curves round. A little bit more here. That's a little light strokes. A bit more here. And I'm going to add some here. Maybe a bit around here. A little bit more here. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the black 199 and I'm going to start to darken up this fur. Definitely need to make this orange bit bigger afterwards, but it was just so that I could blend these bits together and then I can work on that a bit more afterwards. So just really darkening up this area. Lots of strokes to build it up. A little bit here. I'm going to try and darken it up a bit more here. And then I'm going to start on this bit again. Blend it in nice and soft. I'm going to start curving it round here a bit. And I'm going to do a bit coming down here. And a little bit here. Definitely need a bit more here. I feel like it's just missing a little bit. A little bit more down here. And I'm going to blend a bit more around here, close to the eye. Then I'm just lightly going to bring it through these lighter areas for a bit more texture. So I'm not doing it like too densely or anything, just some little strokes just to build up. a little bit more texture so you can see like different strokes in there. Blend it up here a little bit more. Okay, and I think I'm going to add a little bit more Payne's Grey, 181. Just want to apply a little bit more pressure and just get that fur looking a bit denser in places. Just blending it in a bit more. A bit more around here, and then blend some more around this bit. Okay, I'm happier with how that's looking. I think now I'll do a little bit more on the orangey bit. So I might just bring it down a tad more actually. Just like around the bottom. So Ivory 103, I'm just gonna do little strokes. Just extend that orange area a tiny bit. And I'll do a little bit here. A little bit more around here. Don't want to do too much, but I don't want it to be like too small. Then I'm going to go back to the cold grey 1, 230, and I'm just going to start doing some little strokes just to start building up a little bit of that white fur. And I would say it is more of a cool tone than a warm tone. Just blend it into the orange bit a tiny bit. Sort of just establishing a little bit of a base layer, but by doing little strokes you'll still see a little bit of the white paper in places, so it will help to create that white fur. Bring it down here a little bit. It's like a little bit of a shadow here. Okay, that'll do for now. going to add a bit more burnt ochre, 187. Let's bring that down a little bit more. A little bit more here. It's just very important to take the time to get those like base layers right, otherwise you'll be working hard to fix it later. I'm gonna add some nougat, 178. And I want now to start blending this through this orange area, make it a bit more brown. So bringing it right down. Blending some little bits into that cold grey that we put down, just here and there to create a little bit of texture in that fur. Trying to blend each colour into one another. So I'm even bringing it through that darker fur a little bit too. So it all blends together. So we're getting there, starting to like all blend into one another a little bit more. Do a bit more here. And then I'm going to use the burnt umber, 280, and I'm just going to start darkening up this orange fur. So it's especially dark around here, then there's sort of like a little bit of a lighter bit and it gets dark again, so I'm just going to try and keep that in mind. And gonna add some here. It's a bit darker here where it sort of like goes down there. I'm just going to darken up this little bit. And I think I definitely need a bit more up here. Okay, I'm going to add some dark sepia now and just darken up some of those bits even more. So 175, I'm going to add some little darker bits through here, but again I'm trying to leave some little bits in between to make it look like the white fur is sort of blending seamlessly into this bit. So it's just like staggering those hairs a little bit so that they're not all perfectly uniform and there's like little gaps in between. Darken this bit up. A little bit up here. And I'm going to blend that into this fur a little bit more. Starting to blend a bit more now. Just got to work on loads of different colours and layers to bring it all together. It's got to be super patient. A little bit more through here. I'm going to add a tab more around this bit. Bit more there. And definitely need to darken it up a bit here. Maybe even a little bit more at burnt umber 280, just for a bit more of that brown colour. Just pressing a little tiny bit harder. And a little bit more up here. And I'm going to add a little bit of black 199 just through here, a little bit of extra depth. A little bit there. I might even just try and bring it in that area between the two colours, just to blend it a bit more. Bit more up here. Bit more around here. And a bit more here. I think I'll probably need some of that Derwent Drawing Black to darken it up. Yeah, let's add a little bit of that. Ivory black, just mainly into this bit here. I feel like it could do with a bit more depth. Just blending it in. You're better off just keep going over it lightly than sort of like pressing too hard and making it go all shiny and horrible. There we go. I add a little bit more up here. There we go. Maybe a tiny bit more here. And some little bits along this joining section here where the two colours come together. And some little bits through here. Might just add a tiny bit more here. Right, then I'm just going to add a little bit more cold grey 1, and I want to start bringing that on this like white area a little bit more. Just rub that top line out, and I'm just going to start adding some little fur strokes just to the edge of that white section, just so that it doesn't like disappear into nothing. And then I'm going to start doing some little strokes through the white section coming from that dark bit, just to create a little bit of fur texture in there. Bring it up here a little bit. And then I might try a bit of cold grey too. I feel like the Pablo dark grey is probably a little bit too like pigmented. I need something a bit more pale. So cold grey 2, 2, 3, 1. Just gonna blend a bit of that through there. Get a little bit of fur texture, but nothing too crazy. Might add a little bit to the edge as well. And a little bit more just up there. And I might add a little bit of this cold grey too, just sort of around the bottom of this area. I kind of want to blend into that white area a little bit around here. Might need a bit more cold grey 1, 230, just to like blend that in a bit more. So it's not so harsh on that edge, I just want it to like softly blend out a bit more. And bring it down here. Blending it around. It's all very subtle, but we'll build up on it. You might not even be able to see it much on the video. Just bring it to there for now. And I'm going to go back to the cold grey 2, 2, 3, 1. Just again start building up that white fur. This just adds a little bit more texture. Creates a bit more of a first stroke. Still very subtle, but just going to blend little bits around here. And start blending it around this bit. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of cocoa from the Pablos. I just want to blend a little bit more of that down here. Really softly. I'm doing literally like the tiniest, softest little strokes. Start blending that in. Making sure to follow the fur direction. Just bringing it up here a bit, leaving some little gaps for some white hairs. Okay, and I'm just going to add a little bit more of the dark grey from the Pablos and just blend a little bit more of that down here. Really like sparse bits. I don't want to add too much. Blend it in. Then a bit of Payne's Grey 181. Just darken it up a bit here. And I'm going to add a little bit around here. Just little bits because I want it to look like there's some lighter hairs. Just really gradually build that white fur up. Going to blend a bit more here. A little bit here. tiny bit more. Do you see how that's starting to naturally create like white fur? All nice and blended together because we've spent the time building up the layers really lightly. Might even add a little bit of this through this little bit of white fur. Just to create a little bit of texture. Really lightly. If you feel like it's too much, you can just use the eraser to like dab it a little bit. But I think that looks good. I might just use a little bit on the edge of that fur. Maybe a little bit more through that middle bit. Right, I've just moved you down the tiniest bit because I want to start doing a little bit more on these bits now. So I'm just going to erase this little bit here. And this is the bit I'm going to start working on, you know, where there's like a bit of a shadow coming down there. So I'm going to use the cold grey one again, 230. And I'm just going to start bringing that down here. Again, I'm just going to do like little strokes because then it'll be easier to build that white fur up, making sure it's all like the right texture. Might not even be able to see it, to be honest. But lots and lots of little strokes coming down here. I'm going to do a few more around here. And around here. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of the cold grey too. 231. Start bringing that down there. And a little bit up here. Then I'm going to add some warm grey one because it starts to transition into more of a warm colour as you get further down. So warm grey one, 270, and I'm just going to start layering this as we go further down this little like creased section. Like that, bring it up here a little bit. And I'm going to add a little bit of the cocoa from the Pablos. It's got that slight purpley tone to it, and I think this will just be perfect for creating a little bit more depth here. So I'm sort of doing like a mixture between strokes going that way and that way, so I'm just gradually building it up, really lightly and softly. A little bit around here. Some little bits through this top bit. Just add a little bit more here. And I'm going to add some Payne's Grey 181, just start to add a little bit more through this top bit and blend it into that cocoa. Again, sort of just leaving little gaps so that it looks like there's some lighter hairs. A little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the cold grey one, 230, and I'm going to add, there's like another shadowy bit here that I want to start building up. So I'm going to add some little strokes. I do need to add more orange as well there. Little strokes just to build that base layer up. And I might just add a little bit of Ivory 103 just to add that base colour there, so I can see where that orange bit starts. There we go. And I'm going to add some Cold Grey 2, 231. Just start to add a little bit more of that here. And I'm going to add some burnt ochre. Just start to add a little bit of that through that orangey bit and blend it into that cold grey a little bit too. Add a little bit more through here. Going to quickly build it up a little bit more through this bit. more here. A little bit more there. And I'm going to add some Nougat 178. Start to blend that through there a little bit. A little bit more around here. And a bit of burnt umber, 280. Start to darken up that bit. More around here. And then I'm going to add some of the cocoa again, the Pablos. And I'm just going to blend a little bit of that through here. A little bit of dark sepia 175. Darken up this little bit here. Bit more there. A few more bits around there. And I'm going to add a bit of Payne's Grey 181. Just add a bit more around there. Bit more here. And I'm going to add a bit of black. 199. Darken up this bit. A little bit here. Right, I think I might be tempted to leave it there now. I just heard my wrist crack and it's starting to ache, so I feel like I need to give my hand a little break. But I'm happy with the progress that we've made in this video. I think we'll start on the nose area in the next one, so make sure you stick around for that. That'll be really fun, I think. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Give this video a like if you did, because it really helps me out, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next part. So I shall hopefully see you in the next one. Bye for now.